The Nowata Methodist Church is happy to produce a lot of different content for the edification of Christ's church throughout the world. This daily segment that you're listening to right now corresponds with the Daily Bible Reading Challenge, which is hosted by Christ Church in Moscow, Idaho. If you want to download the list of readings that they publish for yourself or learn more about this challenge, this initiative, go to biblereading.christkirk.com. I'm Jeffrey Rickman. I'm the pastor here in Nowata, and I read from the Berean Standard Bible, which you can also find at berean.bible. Consider subscribing to this podcast to be a part of this daily effort to grow in familiarity with and love of God's holy word. Let's dive in for today. Hey there, I'm Jeffrey. Hope you're ready to read some scripture. That's the whole point of this thing. So we're going to read a few chapters, and then we're going to try, it's my intention at least, to live our lives in light of what we encounter here. So I would urge you to keep that in mind as you listen to me read through this stuff, okay? We're going to begin at Numbers chapter 24. Here we go. And when Balaam saw that it pleased the Lord to bless Israel, he did not resort to sorcery as on previous occasions, but he turned his face toward the wilderness. When Balaam looked up and saw Israel encamped tribe by tribe, the Spirit of God came upon him, and he lifted up an oracle, saying, "This is the prophecy of Balaam son of Beor, the prophecy of a man whose eyes are open, the prophecy of one who hears the words of God, who sees a vision from the Almighty, who bows down with eyes wide open. How lovely are your tents, O Jacob, your dwellings, O Israel. They are spread out like palm groves, like gardens beside a stream. Like aloes the Lord has planted, like cedars beside the waters. Water will flow from his buckets, and his seed will have abundant water. His king will be greater than Agag, and his kingdom will be exalted. God brought him out of Egypt with strength like a wild ox, to devour hostile nations and crush their bones, to pierce them with arrows. He crouches, he lies down like a lion, like a lioness. Who dares to rouse him? Blessed are those who bless you, and cursed are those who curse you." Then Balak's anger burned against Balaam, and he struck his hands together and said to Balaam, "I summoned you to curse my enemies, but behold, you have persisted in blessing them these 3 times. Therefore flee at once to your home. I said I would richly reward you, but instead the Lord has denied your reward." Balaam answered Balak, "Did I not already tell the messengers you sent me that even if Balak were to give me his house full of silver and gold, I could not do anything of my own accord, good or bad, to go beyond the command of the Lord? I will speak whatever the Lord says. Now I am going back to my people, but come, let me warn you what this people will do to your people in the days to come." Then Balaam lifted up an oracle, saying, "This is the prophecy of Balaam son of Beor, the prophecy of a man whose eyes are open, the prophecy of one who hears the words of God, who has knowledge from the Most High, who sees a vision from the Almighty, who bows down with eyes wide open. I see him, but not now. I behold him, but not near. A star will come forth from Jacob, and a scepter will rise from Israel. He will crush the skulls of Moab, and strike down all the sons of Sheth. Edom will become a possession, as will Seir his enemy. But Israel will perform with valor. A ruler will come from Jacob and destroy the survivors of the city." Then Balaam saw Amalek and lifted up an oracle, saying, "Amalek was first among the nations, but his end is destruction." Next he saw the Kenites and lifted up an oracle, saying, "Your dwelling place is secure, and your nest is set in a cliff. Yet Cain will be destroyed when Ashur takes you captive." Once more Balaam lifted up an oracle, saying, not an article, an oracle, saying, "Ah, who can live unless God has ordained it? Ships will come from the coasts of Cyprus. They will subdue Ashur and Aber, but they too will perish forever." Then Balaam arose and returned to his homeland, and Balak also went his way. Numbers chapter 25. While Israel was staying in Shittim, the men began to indulge in sexual immorality with the daughters of Moab, who also invited them to the sacrifices for their gods. And the people ate and bowed down to these gods. So Israel joined in worshiping Baal of Peor, and the anger of the Lord burned against them. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Take all the leaders of the people and execute them in broad daylight before the Lord, so that his fierce anger may turn away from Israel." So Moses told the judges of Israel, "Each of you must kill all his men who have joined in worshiping Baal of Peor." Just then an Israelite man brought to his family a Midianite woman in the sight of Moses and the whole congregation of Israel while they were weeping at the entrance to the tent of meeting. On seeing this, Phinehas, son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, got up from the assembly, took a spear in his hand, followed the Israelite into his tent, and drove the spear through both of them, through the Israelite and on through the belly of the woman. So the plague against the Israelites was halted, but those who died in the plague numbered 24,000. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Phinehas, son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, has turned my wrath away from the Israelites, for he was zealous for my sake among them, so that I did not consume the Israelites in my zeal. Declare therefore that I am granting him my covenant of peace. It will be a covenant of permanent priesthood for him and his descendants, because he was zealous for his God and made atonement for the Israelites." The name of the Israelite who was slain with the Midianite woman was Zimri, son of Salu, the leader of a Simeonite family. And the name of the slain Midianite woman was Cosbi, the daughter of Zur, a tribal chief of a Midianite family. And the Lord said to Moses, "Attack the Midianites and strike them dead. For they assailed you deceitfully when they seduced you in the matter of Peor and their sister Cosbi, the daughter of the Midianite leader, the woman who was killed on the day of the plague that came because of Peor." Numbers chapter 26. After the plague had ended, the Lord said to Moses and Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, "Take a census of the whole congregation of Israel by the houses of their fathers, all those 20 years of age or older who can serve in the army of Israel." So on the plains of Moab by the Jordan across from Jericho, Moses and Eleazar the priest issued the instruction, "Take a census of the men 20 years of age or older, as the Lord has commanded Moses." And these were the Israelites who came out of the land of Egypt. Reuben was the firstborn of Israel. These were the descendants of Reuben: the Hanokite clan from Hanok, the Paluite clan from Palu, the Hezronite clan from Hezron, and the Carmite clan from Carmi. These were the clans of Reuben, and their registration numbered 43,730. Now the son of Palu was Eliab, and the sons of Eliab were Nemuel, Dathan, and Abiram. It was Dathan and Abiram, chosen by the congregation, who fought against Moses and Aaron with the followers of Korah who rebelled against the Lord. And the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them along with Korah, whose followers died when the fire consumed 250 men. They serve as a warning sign. However, the line of Korah did not die out. These were the descendants of Simeon by their clans: the Nemuelite clan from Nemuel, the Jaminite clan from Jamin, the Jachinite clan from Jachin, the Zerahite clan from Zerah, and the Shaulite clan from Shaul. These were the clans of Simeon, and there were 22,200 men. These were the descendants of Gad by their clans. The Zephonite clan from Zephan, the Haggite clan from Haggi, the Shunite clan from Shuni, the Oznite clan from Ozni, the Arite clan from Eri, the Aradite clan from Arad, and the Arelite clan from Areli. These were the clans of Gad, and their registration numbered 40,500. The sons of Judah were Er and Onan, but they died in the land of Canaan. These were the descendants of Judah by their clans. The Shelonite clan from Shelah, the Perezite clan from Perez, and the Zerahite clan from Zerah. And these were the descendants of Perez, the Hezronite clan from Hezron, and the Hamulite clan from Hamul. These were the clans of Judah, and their registration numbered 76,500. These were the descendants of Issachar by their clans. The Tolaite clan from Tola, the Punite clan from Puva, the Jashubite clan from Jashub, and the Shimronite clan from Shimron. These were the clans of Issachar, and their registration numbered 64,300. These were the descendants of Zebulun by their clans. The Seredite clan from Sered, the Elonite clan from Elon, and the Jahleelite clan from Jahleel. These were the clans of Zebulun, and their registration numbered 60,500. The descendants of Joseph included the clans of Manasseh and Ephraim. These were the descendants of Manasseh. The Machirite clan from Machir, the father of Gilead, and the Gileadite clan from Gilead. These were the descendants of Gilead. The Iezerite clan from Iezer, the Helikite clan from Helik, the Asrielite clan from Asriel, the Shechemite clan from Shechem, the Shemidaite clan from Shemida, and the Hepherite clan from Hepher. Now Zelophehad, son of Hepher, had no sons but only daughters. The names of his daughters were Mahlah, Noah, Haglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. These were the clans of Manasseh, and their registration numbered 52,700. These were the descendants of Ephraim by their clans. The Shuthelahite clan from Shuthelah, the Becherite clan from Becher, and the Tahanite clan from Tahan. And the descendants of Shuthelah were the Aaronite clan from Aaron. These were the clans of Ephraim, and their registration numbered 32,500. These clans were the descendants of Joseph. These were the descendants of Benjamin by their clans. The Belaite clan from Bela, the Ashbelite clan from Ashbel, the Ahiramite clan from Ahiram, the Shuphamite clan from Shupham, and the Huphamite clan from Hupham. And the descendants of Bela from Ard and Naaman were the Ardite clan from Ard, and the Naamite clan from Naaman. These were the clans of Benjamin, and their registration numbered 45,600. These were the descendants of Dan by their clans. The Shuhamite clan from Shuhem. These were the clans of Dan. All of them were Shuhamite clans, and their registration numbered 64,400. These were the descendants of Asher by their clans. The Imnite clan from Imnah, the Ishvite clan from Ishvi, the Beriite clan from Beriah. And these were the descendants of Beriah. The Heberite clan from Heber, and the Machielite clan from Malchiel. And the name of Asher's daughter was Sarah. These were the clans of Asher, and their registration numbered 53,400. These were the descendants of Naphtali by their clans. The Jahzeelite clan from Jahzeel, the Gunite clan from Guni, the Jezerite clan from Jazer, and the Shilemite clan from Shilem. These were the clans of Naphtali, and their registration numbered 45,400. These men of Israel numbered 601,730 in all. Then the Lord said to Moses, "The land is to be divided among the tribes as an inheritance, according to the number of names. Increase the inheritance for a large tribe and decrease it for a small one. Each tribe is to receive its inheritance according to the number of those registered. Indeed, the land must be divided by lot. They shall receive their inheritance according to the names of the tribes of their fathers. Each inheritance is to be divided by lot among the larger and smaller tribes." Now these were the Levites numbered by their clans: the Gershonite clans from Gershon, the Kohathite clan from Kohath, and the Merarite clan from Merari. These were the families of the Levites: the Libnite clan, the Hebronite clan, the Mahlite clan, the Mushite clan, and the Korahite clan. Now Kohath was the father of Amram, and Amram's wife was named Jochebed. She was also a daughter of Levi, born to Levi in Egypt. To Amram she bore Aaron, Moses, and their sister Miriam. Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar were born to Aaron, but Nadab and Abihu died when they offered unauthorized fire before the Lord. The registration of the Levites totaled 23,000, every male a month or old or more. They were not numbered among the other Israelites because no inheritance was given to them among the Israelites. These were the ones numbered by Moses and Eleazar the priest when they counted the Israelites on the plains of Moab by the Jordan across from Jericho. Among all these, however, there was not one who had been numbered by Moses and Aaron the priest when they counted the Israelites in the wilderness of Sinai. For the Lord had told them that they would surely die in the wilderness. Not one was left except Caleb son of Jephunneh and Joshua son of Nun. Numbers chapter 27. Now the daughters of Zelophehad son of Hepher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, belonged to the clans of Manasseh, son of Joseph. These were the names of his daughters: Mahlah, Noah, Haglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. They approached the entrance to the tent of meeting, stood before Moses, Eleazar the priest, the leaders, and the whole congregation, and said, "Our father died in the wilderness, but he was not among the followers of Korah who gathered together against the Lord. Instead, he died because of his own sin, and he had no sons. Why should the name of our father disappear from his clan because he had no sons? Give us property among our father's brothers." So Moses brought their case before the Lord, and the Lord answered him, "The daughters of Zelophehad speak correctly. You certainly must give them property as an inheritance among their father's brothers, and transfer their father's inheritance to them. Furthermore, you shall say to the Israelites, if a man dies and leaves no son, you are to transfer his inheritance to his daughter. If he has no daughter, give his inheritance to his brothers. If he has no brothers, give his inheritance to his father's brothers. And if his father has no brothers, give his inheritance to the next of kin from his clan, that he may take possession of it. This is to be a statutory ordinance for the Israelites, as the Lord has commanded Moses." Then the Lord said to Moses, "Go up this mountain of the Abarim range, and see the land that I have given the Israelites. After you have seen it, you too will be gathered to your people, as your brother Aaron was. For when the congregation contended in the wilderness of Zin, both of you rebelled against my command to show my holiness in their sight regarding the waters. Those were the waters of Meribah in Kadesh in the wilderness of Zin." So Moses appealed to the Lord. "May the Lord, the God of the spirits of all flesh, appoint a man over the congregation who will go out and come in before them, and who will lead them out and bring them in, so that the congregation of the Lord will not be like sheep without a shepherd." And the Lord replied to Moses, "Take Joshua, son of Nun, a man with the Spirit in him, and lay your hands on him. Have him stand before Eleazar the priest and the whole congregation, and commission him in their sight. Confer on him some of your authority, so that the whole congregation of Israel will obey him. He shall stand before Eleazar the priest, who will seek counsel for him before the Lord by the judgment of the Urim. At his command, he and all the Israelites with him, the entire congregation, will go out and come in. Moses did as the Lord had commanded him. He took Joshua, had him stand before Eleazar the priest and the whole congregation, and laid his hands on him and commissioned him, as the Lord had instructed through Moses. Okay, now we transition to the New Testament, to 1 Corinthians. We're now in chapter 7. Now, for the matters you wrote about, it is good to abstain from sexual relations. But because there is so much sexual immorality, each man should have his own wife, and each woman her own husband. The husband should fulfill his marital duty to his wife, and likewise the wife to her husband. The wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband. Likewise, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife. Do not deprive each other except by mutual consent and for a time, so that you may devote yourselves to prayer. Then come together again, so that Satan will not tempt you through your lack of self-control. I say this as a concession, not as a command. I wish that all men were as I am, but each man has his own gift from God. One has this gift, another has that. Now to the unmarried and widows I say this: it is good for them to remain unmarried, as I am. But if they cannot control themselves, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn with passion. To the married I give this command, not I, but the Lord. A wife must not separate from her husband, but if she does, she must remain unmarried or else be reconciled to her husband. And a husband must not divorce his wife. To the rest I say this, I, not the Lord: if a brother has an unbelieving wife and she is willing to live with him, he must not divorce her. And if a woman has an unbelieving husband and he is willing to live with her, she must not divorce him. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified through his believing wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified through her believing husband. Otherwise your children would be unclean, but now they are holy. But if the unbeliever leaves, let him go. The believing brother or sister is not bound in such cases. God has called you to live in peace. How do you know, wife, whether you will save your husband? Or how do you know, husband, whether you will save your wife? Regardless, each one should lead the life that the Lord has assigned to him and to which God has called him. This is what I prescribe in all the churches. Was a man already circumcised when he was called? He should not become uncircumcised. Was a man still uncircumcised when he was called? He should not be circumcised. Circumcision is nothing, and uncircumcision is nothing. Keeping God's commandments is what counts. Each one should remain in the situation he was when he was called. Were you a slave when you were called? Do not let it concern you. But if you can gain your freedom, take the opportunity. For he who was a slave when he was called by the Lord is the Lord's freedman. Conversely, he who was a free man when he was called is Christ's slave. You were bought at a price. Do not become slaves of men. Brothers, each one should remain in the situation he was in when God called him. Now about virgins, I have no command from the Lord, but I give a judgment as one who, by the Lord's mercy, is trustworthy. Because of the present crisis, I think it is good for a man to remain as he is. Are you committed to a wife? Do not seek to be released. Are you free of commitment? Do not look for a wife. But if you do marry, you have not sinned. And if a virgin marries, she has not sinned. But those who marry will face troubles in this life, and I want to spare you this. What I am saying, brothers, is that the time is short. From now on, those who have wives should live as if they had none, those who weep as if they did not, those who are joyful as if they were not, those who make a purchase as if they had nothing, and those who use the things of this world as if not dependent on them. For this world in its present form is passing away. I want you to be free from concern. The unmarried man is concerned about the work of the Lord, how he can please the Lord. But the married man is concerned about the affairs of this world, how he can please his wife, and his interests are divided. The unmarried woman or virgin is concerned about the work of the Lord, how she can be holy in both body and spirit. But the married woman is concerned about the affairs of this world, how she can please her husband. I am saying this for your own good, not to restrict you, but in order to promote proper decorum and undivided devotion to the Lord. However, if someone thinks he is acting inappropriately towards his betrothed, and if she is beyond her youth, and they ought to marry, let him do as he wishes. He is not sinning. They should get married. But the man who is firmly established in his heart and under no constraint, with control over his will and resolve in his heart not to marry the virgin, he will do well. So then, he who marries the virgin does well, but he who does not marry her does even better. A wife is bound to her husband as long as he lives, but if her husband dies, she is free to marry anyone she wishes as long as he belongs to the Lord. In my judgment, however, she is happier if she remains as she is. And I think that I too have the Spirit of God. Final chapter, 1 Corinthians 8. Now, about food sacrificed to idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffs up, but love builds up. The one who thinks he knows something does not yet know as he ought to know, but the one who loves God is known by God. So about eating food sacrificed to idols. We know that an idol is nothing at all in the world, and that there is no God but one. For even if there are so-called gods, whether in heaven or on earth, as there are many so-called gods and lords, yet for us there is but one God, the Father, from whom all things came and for whom we exist. And there is but one Lord, Jesus Christ, through whom all things came and through whom we exist. But not everyone has this knowledge. Some people are still so accustomed to idols that they eat such food as if it were sacrificed to an idol. And since their conscience is weak, it is defiled. But food does not bring us closer to God. We are no worse off if we do not eat, and no better if we do. Be careful, however, that your freedom does not become a stumbling block to the weak. For if someone with a weak conscience sees you who are well informed eating in an idol's temple, will he not be encouraged to eat food sacrificed to idols? So this weak brother, for whom Christ died, is destroyed by your knowledge. By sinning against your brothers in this way and wounding their weak conscience, you sin against Christ. Therefore, if what I eat causes my brother to stumble, I will never eat meat again, so that I will not cause him to stumble. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. The meat portion at the end, if you haven't heard my preaching on it, haven't ever heard someone explain that, it's not that vegetarianism is better, it's that in the ancient world, the majority of the time you're eating meat, it had been dedicated to a god of one sort or another. So to avoid food sacrificed to idols, it was better just to not eat meat because you didn't know where it's like modern day meat where you don't really know what farm it came from, what hormones or antibiotics it was on, who processed it. It just shows up in your hands, you know? And so it's the same concern. It's just better not to eat meat if it was dedicated to another God, heavenly being. So very different world in many ways back then, very similar as well. What you put into your body matters. We should care about this. It's a basic concern. I think our reading last time was about how our bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit. So treat your body like a temple. That might be one good takeaway from this. All right. I'm happy to leave it there. I hope you join me again tomorrow. God bless you as you meditate on His Word. I'll see you.